Today's wars are no longer fought only for ideology, territory, or survival. They are fought within an economic system, one that profits from destruction, monetizes insecurity, and transforms violence into predictable cash flows. In this episode, we're unpacking the economic logic of modern warfare, how military spending, arms markets, resource extraction, supply chains, and trade disruption have merged into a single global war economy. With me is a geopolitical analyst specializing in defense economics and conflict finance.
Thanks for having me. What we'll discuss today isn't conspiracy, it's accounting. Modern war has balance sheets, revenue streams, and investment incentives.
Let's begin with the scale. Global military spending reached $2.7 trillion in 2024, the highest level ever recorded. That's not just a response to insecurity, it's a structural shift.
Exactly. What the data shows is a 10-year uninterrupted expansion of military expenditure. Conflicts like Ukraine and Gaza didn't start this trend, they accelerated it. The key insight from the report is that war has become economically productive. High-intensity conflicts generate guaranteed demand for weapons, logistics, surveillance, and reconstruction.
And the comparison is staggering. Military spending now exceeds global development aid by almost 13 times.
Which tells us something fundamental. The global system prioritizes managing violence over preventing it. War is no longer an emergency expense, it's a permanent budget line.
No country shapes this system more than the United States. In 2024 alone, Washington spent $997 billion on defense, more than the next 6 countries combined.
And that spending doesn't stay domestic. The U.S. controls 43% of global arms exports, turning foreign policy decisions directly into industrial revenue. Ukraine is a perfect example. 45% of its imported weapons came from the U.S.
So military aid doubles as industrial policy.
Exactly. Every aid package sustains U.S. defense manufacturers, locks allies into American weapon systems, and ensures long-term dependency through maintenance and upgrades. This is how arms sales become a tool of geopolitical alignment.
The Ukraine war also triggered a dramatic collapse in Russia's arms exports, down 64%.
That's a geopolitical earthquake. Russia was once a top-tier supplier. Now its exports are concentrated almost entirely in India, China, and a few post-Soviet states. Meanwhile, France surged to second place, and Western suppliers filled the vacuum.
Which means wars don't just destroy, they restructure markets.
Yes, conflicts act as market-clearing events. They eliminate competitors, consolidate suppliers, and redraw the industrial hierarchy.
Let's talk corporate outcomes. The top 100 arms producers generated nearly $680 billion in 2024.
And those profits correlate directly with active wars. Israeli, American, and European defense firms all reported record contracts tied to ongoing conflicts. This creates a moral hazard. The system rewards escalation, not resolution.
So peace becomes economically disruptive.
Exactly. Ending wars threatens revenue streams, stock prices, and industrial planning cycles.
Beyond arms sales, the report highlights resource-driven conflicts. The Democratic Republic of Congo is central here.
The DRC holds about 50% of global cobalt reserves, essential for EVs, batteries, and electronics. Armed groups like M23 finance themselves by controlling mines, taxing transport, and smuggling minerals.
And this isn't marginal money.
Not at all. One coltan hub alone generates $800,000 per month for militias. Global demand turns local violence into a sustainable business.
This brings us to corporations.
Yes, and this is where responsibility becomes unavoidable. Major tech and EV companies failed basic human rights due diligence in their cobalt supply chains. Conflict minerals enter global markets because enforcement is weak and demand is relentless.
So the green transition is paradoxically fueling conflict.
That's the uncomfortable truth. Clean energy relies on dirty supply chains.
Sudan offers another model, gold financing war.
The Rapid Support Forces fund operations through gold sales, backed by foreign-linked financial networks. Sanctions revealed UAE-based companies facilitating both arms transfers and resource monetization.
So resources replace taxation.
Exactly. Whoever controls extraction controls power.
Some states buy weapons not for war, but for deterrence. Qatar is a prime example.
Qatar's arms purchases function as premium insurance, securing alliances, deterring threats, and integrating into Western security architectures. Weapons here are diplomatic assets.
The Red Sea crisis illustrates economic warfare.
By attacking shipping, the Houthis disrupted 12 to 15% of global trade, forcing rerouting, tripling transit times, and spiking freight rates. The result? Military intervention justified as protecting commerce.
So trade routes become battlefields.
Exactly. Control choke points and you control economies.
The Nile dispute shows how environmental scarcity becomes military strategy.
Egypt views Ethiopia's dam as an existential economic threat, risking billions in losses and millions of jobs. This turns infrastructure into a security issue.
What emerges is a disturbing synthesis. War today is profitable, financialized, embedded in global markets.
Modern war isn't a breakdown of the system, it's an expression of it. Until economic incentives change, conflict will remain rational, even predictable.
And that's the uncomfortable conclusion. War is no longer a failure of economics. It is economics.